Let's continue in KZN. Cross-examination of the state's second witness in the Zandile Gumede trial continues. Shaun Hitler is the person who first processed anonymous information handed over to the investigation unit. Gumede and 21 others are accused of defrauding the city of over 300 million rand. Let's go to our senior reporter, Desin Tathia, who's been following this case for us. Desin, so this is day 2 of Hitler's cross-examination. How's it been going? Obviously, it's Gumede's and her co-accused lawyer's turn to make sure that they discredit him.
That's exactly the plan. So Advocate Jay Naidu had started the day today with his continuation of his cross-examination of Shaun Hitler. The delay was yesterday. There were a few outstanding documents that were required. So in the absence of those, Griffiths Madonsela, who is representing the former city manager Sipho Nzuza, he stepped in to start his cross-examination. But this morning that document was received. And what it is, Maseko, is a previous case that was dealt with by the CIIU, the City's Integrity and Investigations Unit. So this was a matter that was dealt with a month prior to the matter that we're talking about at the moment. And there was a reference to that particular case because of its similarities. So the CIIU, through Shaun Hitler, who's on the stand, said that they noticed that there was a common factor between the two cases, namely a company and an accused that featured in that other matter, and that had informed or partly informed the decision for them to outsource this investigation to IFS. So you would have heard that name or the name of that company several times during our reporting, and that's because the defense has been trying to pick at that and find out why that company was chosen of the 17 accredited service providers to the municipality that have been tasked with such investigations. So the city, through Hitler now, through his testimony rather, is insisting that that was one of the accredited service providers. There was this common factor. They were also the ones who had the least number of cases and were available to take on this task. So just before we broke now, Griffiths Madonsela had taken over his and started his cross-examination. And essentially the basis of it, Maseko, was around the duration of the contracts that were awarded. So there was a discrepancy of 3 months, and eventually that contract became 6 months long. And that's what we last heard now, just a discussion around those timeframes and the supply chain management policies. But that'll continue when we go back in after 2 o'clock.
And do we know who the next witness is for the state? I mean, you did say that the witness list goes beyond 100, and this is less than 5 so far. So clearly this trial is going to go on for quite a long time.
Definitely, Maseko. We might not even get to the next witness in this particular block that we are in now, because this period now ends on Friday. That's what was set down for the initial part of this trial. This is expected to continue later on in this year and next year. But although we don't have the next witness that's going to be up, I can tell you that that company we've been referencing a lot, the IFS, the Forensic Investigation Company, their team members are expected to take the stand soon. And I think it's at that point, Maseko, that we'll also get a lot of insight into the actual investigation. Remember, up until this point, the defense has largely been focusing on the processes that are involved, but we haven't really gotten into an in-depth discussion around the merits of the actual case. And that's expected when those witnesses from the IFS take the stand later during this trial.
And I mean, last week there was already a witness, I think it was Hitler himself, who said that he was sick, and so a break had to be taken. So all of that is probably going to happen before we see the end of this trial. Desin Tathia, let me let you go eat something before the trial continues again at 2 o'clock. Senior reporter Desin Tathia, live for us outside the Durban High Court.